Geeks with beards, geeks with beards. Look who's here, geeks with beards. No need to fear, we're right here. We got beards, so listen clear. Geeks with beards, geeks with beards.
Hello, readers, and welcome back to another episode of Dan's Comic Corner. And today we're going to be talking about Thundarr The Barbarian, #1 from Dynamite Entertainment. And, the comic is based off of the animated series from the early 1980s. Great cartoon. It was before He-Man, a couple years before He-Man. Really, really good. But yeah, so let's take a look at this cover. I think this was the B cover that they did, and I love it. You've got like a jungle setting. You've got Thundarr, the Sun Sword. You've got Ookla. You've got Ariel in the background. It's just a beautiful, beautiful art. Beautiful art. So we'll get into it here. We'll get to the credits page. And you can see that the writer is Jason Aaron. And the artist is Cooper Ball. I hope I'm saying that right. People know Jason Aaron from Marvel and stuff. He's a great writer. So we open up. And this is kind of how the cartoon opened. The year is 1994. From outer space comes a runaway planet, hurtling between the Earth and the Moon, unleashing cosmic destruction. And it's pretty much how the cartoon began. And then we'll jump right into the story. And we'll get in here. It says here, 2,000 years later, you can see the city is just destroyed. It's in ruins. And we have a ship that showed up. And what's happening is that we have a bidding war for human slaves. And kind of, if you know the cartoon, humans are kind of, they're kind of minority in a way. They're kind of hard to come by, because then you have like these mutant creatures, monsters and wizards, like the Karoks. The Karoks are so cool from the cartoon series. You got the Raiders of the Abyss. Just so many cool characters. But yeah, they're here to buy slaves, human slaves. And of course, then we have, I forgot the groundlings. Excuse me. I forgot the name. The groundlings. The big rats on motorcycles. This is a good episode too. All these characters come from at least one episode of the cartoon series. So they're bidding, and they end up winning. And then, like with the head of the ground, you look familiar to me. I think I've seen you before. And then, unfortunately, this poor slave, he's missing one arm, and he's old. Oh, this one's feeble, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, just smacks him. They don't care. They see humans as base. They don't care. And he keeps doing it, keeps pounding him to the ground, trying to kill him. And then the other slave smacks him in the back with a chain. And who is it? Thundarr. He was pretending to be a slave, so he could actually stop the slave trade, is basically what he was doing. And of course, we get a little page here that tells you a little bit about it. We'll go paying a little slow so you can read that. Pretty much the story of the cartoon and the character. Again, we have the credits again of who does what. So yeah, it's just awesome. Then we go a few days later. We're back into the Sea of Kansas. So Kansas. I love how they, Thundarr pronounced stuff, and everybody else pronounces the old, the city names and stuff. Of course, they've captured Thundarr, unfortunately, because he was by himself. Ookla and Ariel wasn't with him at the time. And you find out that the groundlings are looking for this ancient machinery. It looks like some kind of gear or a dial or something. They're looking for it. And unfortunately, it's under the ocean. It's under the water there. So that's why they have the slaves, is they're basically forcing them to dive to look. Oh, some ads. Sorry about that. They're forcing them to dive to look for this ancient relic. Of course, look, somebody's already dead. They're drowned. Because, they don't have any kind of breathing apparatus or anything like that. Then all of a sudden, boom, Ookla and Ariel show up. They're there. And she's like, yeah, I told him this was not going to work. This was a bad idea. Of course, here comes Thundarr coming out of the water on this big sea creature. She throws him the hilt of his sun sword. And the sun sword is just awesome. It's just one of those great weapons of the 80s. And boom, he pops the sun sword blade. Attacks, look at this artwork. Attacks this giant creature. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. So we'll skip ahead here just a little bit, guys. And they do find the gear, finally. One of the slaves do. and the groundlings get away. And man, this artwork. Sorry, I just keep going. And then who we have here is Gemini. Now, Gemini is one of the big wizard villains from the animated series. Unfortunately, they didn't make toys of the cartoon back in the day. We've had a few toys that were made years later, but mainly of Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla. And of course, then we have Mindok. He's another wizard. Yeah, basically what ends up happening by the end of this is that they are coming together to create a time machine so they can go back to the past and get rid of Thundarr before he becomes a problem. And then kind of at the end, kind of an epilogue, we see that Thundarr is waking up from a dream, or what he thinks is a dream, and he's still a slave, kind of like in a gladiator cage. And he's dreaming of being free and being with friends. So it makes you think at the end of the comic, well, what we saw, was that a dream? Or was that reality? We don't know. So we'll see where that goes. I love this comic book. I'm a big fan of the cartoon series. And let me see here. Here we go. And here's the cartoon series on DVD. The Hanna-Barbera Classic Collection. I got it from Amazon. The 4-disc set, the complete series, and that's the animated models. So we'll show you the back of the DVD as well. Just a little bit of information, you know. So that is what the comic book here is based off of, is the animated series. And like I said, the cartoon was great. Short-lived, unfortunately, but a great cartoon. Actually kind of a dark cartoon. It really was. Darker than He-Man was, that's for sure. But it's such a great cartoon. I think it's a property that is underrated. And I'm so glad that Dynamite has got the license to do a comic book for Thundarr. The first issue was amazing. I don't think you have to be a fan of the cartoon series or know the lore to really enjoy this comic book, but I think it might help a little bit. But I think you can go into this as a new reader and like, hey man, what's Thundarr? It's just cool looking, and just enjoy it. It's so amazing. So I definitely highly recommend it. Go check it out. It just dropped about a week or so back. So yeah, again, another thumbs up from me. Until next time, guys, good reading.
Geeks with beards, geeks with beards. Look who's here, geeks with beards. No need to fear, we're right here. We got beards, so listen clear. Geeks with beards, geeks with beards.